What's happening, Secret Beachcombers? Hi, Jason T. Smith, the Big Kahuna, coming at you live from Tiki Pug Music headquarters. And here we are with the July 2018 Surf Report intro to selling records. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. These are the examples I will be using tonight. How is everybody? What's shaking? How is everyone doing? Yeah, and Stacy said it best in the chat. Get your pen and paper ready. This is one of those that you're gonna want to take a lot of notes, because this is gonna be another one of them unique webinars. Now, usually I do like a keynote, a slide presentation. So last month I showed how to use InkFrog. This month we're going to use InkFrog kind of sort of to list a record, but when we get to all the different terms, we're going to, that's what this pile is. This is all the examples of the different terms you need to know when selling records. So this is the first record webinar. This is the intro. This is the terms you need to know, the differences between record sizes, speeds, types. I will show how to ship a record. And then, when I get more into these 7,000 records I'm selling for my friend, then I'll have a part two, like maybe 6-7 months down the road, where we'll talk more about what to look for, types of records, bands, artists. You know, this will give you the jumping off point. Now, if some of you sell records, you'll probably know most of this, but maybe not all. But I did, of my examples, I chose a lot of fun ones. So even if you know this stuff, a lot of things I'm going to hold up are going to be quite fun. So, you know, as always, I try and make things fun. Speaking of fun, I decided that Stacy helped me pick out a tiki mug for tonight. And if you've never seen this mug, Nick Garces, he's a member of the thrifting board. He's also a police officer or a detective in LA. He made me my own mug. So there's the front. And then the back says Jason's Tiki Las Vegas. So this was a sneaky tiki mug from Tahoe, but all the paint got washed off. So he made me my own mug. So I figured, what a good mug. Drink out of my head while giving a webinar. All right, so let's get right to it, because I got a lot to share with you. Tons of information. And I think I've done it in a pretty decently concise manner. I think. This was a tricky one because I wanted to give you all the terms. All right, so let's jump right into it. This is the first question I'm going to ask all y'all. Do you know the difference in these three words? Because some people use them interchangeably, but they're not. Actually, I need a quick example. Sorry. Look at that, I'm already not prepared. Okay, so album, record, and LP. Okay. An album is the generic term for the piece of work. Now, see, Cheryl, you're wrong already. They're all around. No. This is an album. This is also an album, as is this, as is this. The album is the term for the body of work. Okay? Record is this. That's a record. But it don't have to be this size. It can be a 45 record. That's the record. And then LP, as Sherry already put in the chat, is long play. So that means it's a full length album. All right. So don't forget, the album is the piece of work. So in this case, it's Scandal Warrior, or Carly Simon Hotcakes, or NSYNC Self-Titled, or the soundtrack to the movie Diva. Those are all albums. So don't get those confused, because people use them and they think they're using the right term, and they're not always using the right term. All right. And hey, Debbie's in the chat. Hey, Debbie. Debbie's going to be posting all the questions tonight, and I will keep an eye on them as we go, because I don't want to get too far removed from any point tonight. And so I want to make sure that I answer your questions right away. So let me get up the chat with Debbie. Hey, Debbie. There's Debbie. Okay, so that was our first question. Don't make your head hurt, Gerald. Album's the body of work. A record is the actual round thing. It could be a big one, could be a small one. An LP means long play, means it's a full album. All right. Now, the most important part of information in your title is not the band. It is not the name of the album. It is the catalog number. All right. Now, the catalog number, and this is going to be a really tricky one to share, typically is written very small on the spine. Now, it's not going to probably focus, but it's right there. And this one, for instance, says FC 39173. And you will also find it on the vinyl. And it says FC 39173 right about there. Okay. Now, let me show you why the catalog number is uber important. Okay, so I'm going to pause on that for a second, and I'm going to show you the 3 websites that you need to put into your favorites when selling records, because anything you need to find wasn't on the big screen, was I? Thanks, Scott. Sorry about that. Okay, backing it up. That is the catalog number right there. I know it won't focus in on that. Sorry about that, guys. And then it's on the record right there. All right. So you might need a magnifying glass or a loop or something to see the little numbers on the side. Sorry about that. All right. But here's why. All right. Here's the 3 websites you need to use to look up stuff. Okay. The first one is allmusic.com. And we're going to be kind of working off of a Beatles record tonight. So when you go to allmusic.com and type in Beatles, it gives you the overview of the band, related artists. It'll give you their biography, give you their discography, which is all the records or releases, albums, singles, and EPs that they have, the songs, credits, awards, and related. Okay. So when you pick up a band that you're not sure of, this is a good place to start to get a jumping off point. And in each listing, I like to add a little extra note to every record. So I try and read the liner notes. Oh, Eric Clapton played tambourine on this one cut of this Duane Allman record. Well, I'm putting Eric Clapton in there because that's a hell of a bonus keyword. All right. Now, the next website is called Discogs, DISCOGS.com. All right. So let's pop in the Beatles here on Discogs. And there they are, the Beatles artists. And now we're going to click on the White Album. So tonight we're going to be kind of playing with the Beatles, the White Album, which I have a copy right here. Okay. And the catalog number on this one is SWBO-101. Let me pop myself up on the big screen here. SWBO-101. Okay, now, the reason I want you to really pay attention to this is because collectors, and that's a lot of what you're selling records to. Some people are buying it to listen, but a lot are buying it for collections. They want to know which specific release, because now we're in 2018. Some records that were released in the 50s got re-released in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. And then they got released in the United States, and they got released in Canada, and they got released in London, and in France, and Russia, and every one of those releases gets a new catalog number. Now, why is this important? Well, the White Album is a prime example. So let's click on it and see how many versions there have been of the White Album. Hopefully. Hello? All right. Thanks for taking a crap, Discogs. All right. So, here we come. Nope. Nope. Come on. There we go. Okay. So when you click on a specific album, it'll give you the genre and the style. And that's going to be important in a minute because you need those things for your eBay listing. They'll give you the year it came out. Tell you a little note, although this album is officially titled The Beatles, is most commonly referred to as the White Album. Here's the track list. Now, here's the important part. Look how many versions of the White Album there are. 481. Okay, I'm going to let your heads explode right now. So, if you're listing the White Album, you just can't write Beatles, the White Album, LP, and be done with it. You got to tell it. Now, here's what's nice. Here's the catalog number for all of them. So, once you have the catalog number, you also can find out what country it was released in, what year it was released. So, I can do a quick little search, SWBO 101. There it is. Apple Records, 2 LPs, US 1968. Okay? So, as you can see, there's all kinds of different numbers, all kinds of different countries, and all these different versions of even the SWBO 101. There's even these different versions, and you've got to really break it down. Now, this isn't going to happen with every. If you know my Geraldine and Ricky story, there's one version of that record. The Beatles are a great example of records that will have multiple versions of things. So now, Debbie said, all this time I avoided LPs because I can't scan them. Yes, you can, Debs. They scan just like CDs do because almost every record is in Amazon. Now, will there be 481 versions of the White Album on record in Amazon? No, but you can still scan them and get a good jumping off point. Okay. Now, the last website is going to be like, well, duh, of course, Jay, but man, I can't get people to pay attention to this website, including my own assistants. To make it even simpler, when you're trying to figure out the genre of the band and the style of the band, hey, man, let's go to Wikipedia. That's easy. Bring up the Beatles, and over here, it'll give you their genres, rock, pop, and psychedelica. Yeah, that's pretty much, that's it. Here's the labels they were on, the years they were active, associated acts. They used to be called the Quarrymen before they were the Beatles. Past members, of course, they're all past members since they don't exist anymore. But, you know, and look, you couldn't base your life on Wikipedia, but I would say 95% correct. And so for this is what you need. Wikipedia is a great website to use. Okay. All right. Next, do you know what these terms mean and why, what the difference is really? So LP stands for long play, stands for a full album. Typically 4, 5, or 6 tracks on either side, depending on how short the tracks are. An EP stands for extended play, and that usually means like 4, maybe 5 songs total, like 2 and 2 or 3 and 2. And then a single, of course, is typically 1 song, but there's going to be usually 1 on the front, 1 on the back. If it's a 12-inch single, you're probably going to have 2 or 3 versions of the song on the front and the back. It's still a single. So you need to know those. And yeah, so I'm going to pop over there. See, Alan says some LPs have barcodes on them. Yeah, if you find modern LPs, so like 1980s and on, you can scan the barcode. And I always recommend anytime something has a barcode, always scan the barcode. All right. Now, record sizes. There's 3 main sizes. There is a 4 size. I don't ever see it. I don't even have one to show you. There is a 5-inch. So you have 12-inch, 10-inch, and 7-inch. And now is when we're going to show. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. First prop. Okay. The reason you want to be specific about the catalog number, here is one of the greatest albums of all time, especially Tiki. Martin Denny's Exotica. Here's one. Here's one. And here's one. Now, for the most part, it's the same record. But guess what? This one is LST 7034. This one is LRP 3034. And this one is LM1009. Now, nerd collectors will want all 3 versions, but that's why you got to be specific. If I have these 2 and I'm hunting for this one, I don't want to see these 2 when I'm doing my search. I want to see just this one. So make sure you put it on here. Now this one's on United Artists. This one's on Liberty Records, and this one's on Liberty. And the difference is this one is stereo, and this one is mono, and it was a re-release. Okay, so that's why you want to be specific. Same album, different numbers. Okay. Because some people also, when you get nerd level, some people some people say that this specific one has a much better sound quality than this one. Now, I've never compared. I'm not that level of nerd. I've never compared, but I believe them. And so if I would sit and compare, I'd be like, you're right. This version is way better sound quality. And it also depends. Some records go out of print, and then some other record label picks them up and re-releases it. Maybe they cleaned it up. Maybe they made it worse. You don't know. Okay? I didn't think about where I'm going to put my empties. Do it right there. Okay. Now, back to our regular scheduled program. All right. Back to our 3 sizes. Well, I am assuming we're all familiar with 12-inch. So this is a 12-inch record. Yay. And then I'm sure you're all familiar with a 7-inch. This is a 7-inch record. Now, when you sell 7-inch records, you can't just call it a 45. And we're going to talk about speeds in a minute. And then this is the 10-inch. Most of you probably never seen a 10-inch, but there's a lot of 10 inches. And 10 inches tend to be EPs. So here's a prime example. There's only 4 songs on this, 4 different songs. So this would be an EP. There are 14 songs on this. This would be an LP. And there is a side A, side B song on this. This would be a single. So far, so good. Makes sense. Yeah, Chris, I don't know what those giant records are. Yeah, they're like news things, and I've never seen them, and they're never going to be music, I'm pretty sure. So I didn't even want to talk about those tonight, but I know what you're talking about. Okay, so record speeds. We've all played a record. I can't imagine there's anyone in this chat who hasn't played a record. You know, normally the 12-inch or 33 1/3, the 7-inch or 45s. But you can't just say that, because some 7 inches are 33s and some 12 inches are 45. So you have to read the label. 99 times out of 100, it'll tell you 45 or 33 1/3. So you just cannot assume that a 12-inch piece of vinyl is 33. You just can't. Same with the 7-inch. Now, 78s, I'm assuming unless some of our old folks are listening, maybe we've not played them. I have one 78 in my collection, and it's called a Vogue picture disc, and we're going to get to discuss picture disc in a second. But 78s are a special breed. If you wanted to know more about 78s, one of my early thrifty businesses was with Bobby Stills. He talked to us all about 78, so you can get more information on 78s there. And then types of sound. Oops. Mono, stereo, and quadraphonic. So mono was the first type of records. It's your old Xenon and did stereo. So you have 2 speakers, left side, right side, on side, right side. And then they're like, what level? Quadraphonic. And so there was 4 speakers. And so when you're these records, oftentimes they'll say mono, they'll say stereo, they'll say quadraphonic, but if they don't, that's when you got to go to the websites and do a little research, because those Martin Denny's, one's mono, one's stereo. And so the buyer needs to know that. Needs to know. Now, if you're selling modern records, especially anything that came out recently, unless it's some weird special edition, it's going to be stereo. You don't have to worry about modern stuff too much, but it's the stuff in the 50s, 60s, 70s. There was mono, there was stereo, there was quadraphonic. So you got to know these things. Quadraphonic will really be trumpeted. Sometimes the mono and stereo is hidden, because mono was hidden because there wasn't anything but mono. So they didn't really trumpet it. And then when stereo came, not everything got switched to stereo. And then some were made to play in either mono or stereo. And so that's where you got to do a little bit of work, a little bit of research. All right, so the next big important thing is the vinyl grading system. Now, the way I do it is I under promise and over deliver. I have never, even though I've sold thousands of records, I have I've never ascertained that I'm a professional grader, and my mom's at a play, so she doesn't get to hit me. Typically, if something's mint, I'll do near mint. If it's near mint, I'll do excellent or very good plus. And so every time I've gotten feedback on a record sale, they all say the same thing. Expected. Well, I'm still getting the price I should for it, and I'm getting this extraly awesome feedback. Like I'm taking a lesser price by going one step below in my grading. That's the way I feel comfortable. So I have had this up for a little while. You can read it. I will post these two slides in the post for the videos. You guys can read those. And, err on the side of caution. If you see a little bit of scratches, maybe it's not very good plus, maybe just very good, And then here are the other ones, very good and poor. Now, I wouldn't sell poor too often, but if you find a $1,000 record in poor shape, you're still going to get like $100, $200. Some people buy records to frame them and put them up, so they're not all that concerned about the condition. So if you find a common record, like let's say Barbra Streisand, and it's poor condition, don't buy it. You don't buy it in any condition. But if you found a Beatles Butcher cover in poor condition, you're still going to get, well, if it's the original cover, you're going to get like $400 or $500 in poor condition. So don't shy away from poor condition ones if they're amazing records. But if they're common, along with Mitch Miller, yeah, you don't need that. I would buy Sing Along with Mitch if it was new and sealed still. I wouldn't buy it if it was poor for sure, and probably no other grade, but definitely not poor. Okay, so let us attempt to write up this Beatles White Album. Now, this is a special edition of the White Album. It is numbered. Okay, so on InkFrog, I'm going to type, I'm going to see if it comes up first in the database. So we're going to put the Beatles White Album LP. And we're going to search. So the first one says LP bonus tracks 2012. Well, that ain't the version I got. The version I got is like the 68 version. Then there's a 1998 2 discs. Nope, that's not it. And then a 1988 CD. That's not it. And so I'm just going to select music records because none of those are our thing. So our title is going to be something like this. The Beatles White Album. SWB 101 numbered edition, double LP gatefold. Now, gatefold is the term you need to know. This, and this record's actually falling apart a little bit. So let me get this stuff out of the way. This is a gatefold. And the reason you want to talk about that is because some records came out in gatefold version and not gatefold version. If you have a LP that isn't a gatefold, you don't have to put anything because that's just normal. But if it is a gatefold, you need to mention it. Okay. So back to our listing. Double LP gatefold. I still have 11 characters left. And this one did come with a poster and 4 individual pictures of the band. So if they still had them, this one doesn't. I would put poster and pics. Okay. So there's our title. Now for description, I do a few things. I kind of reiterate stuff. I go artist, the Beatles, title, the White Album, catalog number, SWBO 101. I'll go year because some records have come multiple times. Okay. And then I'll do vinyl condition. Now we're going to repeat some of this down below, but you know, it's one of those things where it's just kind of repetitive to keep you protected. Like if you tell them vinyl condition, and I'll look at this one, I'll actually grade it exactly. Yeah, I picked good on this. If you tell them over and over and over, hopefully at some point they'll read it. So cover condition, poor, and then I do extra. And this is where I put in the little notes, like if Eric Clapton banjo on a track. We'll pretend again, comes with original poster and 4 black and white pictures of each Beatle. All right. Does that make sense? I think that's pretty cut and dried. Now, I don't have to do anything else. I don't want to do shenanigans. I don't need to write stories. It's, you know, it's quick and to the point. And then, of course, we'll do our pictures, and I'll bring up one of my listings to show you the actual pictures. But we're going to keep on cruising here because I want to teach you the terms, okay? All right. Again, you want to put vinyl condition and cover condition in your condition description box. This is what protects you from items not as described. Vinyl is in good condition. I'm having a problem with the word condition tonight, aren't I? And cover is in poor condition. All right, so put our price, and we'll just, you know, for fun, and we'll call it $29.99. Oops, 60 days. Where'd all my item specifics go? Well, haha. I'm like, where'd all my item specifics go? Well, hello, Inkfrog. You know, when you plan a webinar, you don't think about things like all music not working, Inkfrog. This is what I wanted to teach you, all the item specifics that aren't right this second. So let's give a refresh and hope it happens. Sorry about that, everybody. You never plan for failure, but when it happens, you got to deal with it. All right. All the item specifics, because this is where the meat of the fun's going to come. This is where the learning's going to be. Okay. So backing it up here, of course, it's used, and then we do our description, blah, 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 blah. Okay, then genre. Now, the Beatles are 3 main genres, rock, pop, and psychedelica. I'll put the White Album as rock. Okay. And then here's all the styles that they give you. Now, come on, we all know the Beatles is the British invasion. And so right here, there's a specific, let me make this a little bigger. Right here is specific British invasion. So that's what I would pick off. That's where All Music, Discogs, and Wikipedia comes in handy to, you know, if you don't know the band, that's cool. I sell a lot of bands I don't know. Here's what I do know. They make me money, so I'm happy with that. Okay. The first drop down, speed. Now, I have never seen a 16 RPM record, but what the hell it is. I'm 47 and a half years old, been collecting and playing records since I was 6. I ain't never seen one. I am guessing you never will. But those are our main 3, and really it's main 2. So this is a 33. Here's our record sizes. Like I said, 5-inch is so uncommon. I've never seen one. So this is a 12-inch record. The duration, here's your options. Box set, double LP, LP, single, or triple LP. Now, pausing for a second. This is a box set. Means there's a bunch of records. So in this one, there are 3 records in here, housed in a box. Hence the name box set. Now, box sets can be 12 inches and they can be 7 inches. Now, this one's different. This isn't just records. This is the El Companion. This has, if I can get it open, a coaster, a swizzle, an order form for the record label, and then, come on, 3 records. Okay, that's a box set. So in this case, oh, thanks. I see E Blanco says 16 RPMs are typically word in lectures. Good to know. Yeah, that's why I've never seen them, because I don't gravitate towards spoken word in lectures on vinyl. I'm all about the music. All right, so that's a box set. But this one is a double LP. There are two LPs in there. All right, so here's our record grading, and we decided the records were good and the sleeve grading was poor. Where's my poor? Wow, they don't have poor in here. So if they don't have the grading you want to use, you can write your own. So we're going to put in poor. Okay? Now, here's where I'm going to start teaching you a bunch of shit. These are all the terms you need to know in every record you have. Because not every record is going to have all of these, any of these. But if they do, this is what people are going to be asking you about. Oh, I'm going to go back real quick. I realized I had a prop I didn't show you. So this is Ema Sumac. Some of you know her. She plays well in tiki bars and exotica music. But again, back to why do we put in the catalog numbers? This originally came out in 57, so they had the original year. But this is a 1984 re-release. And so as a purchaser, I need to know which version this is, okay, when I'm buying. So there we go. W. Weeder wants to know, will we have the same item specifics if we don't have InkFrog? Yes, InkFrog is just pulling eBay. InkFrog is just a front for eBay. So it's just, this is eBay. No biggie. Angela, sleeve and cover are different, right? Nope, sleeve and cover are the same thing. Same thing. Okay, so let's pop down our list. So the first one is 180, 220 gram. What the hell does that mean, Jay? Regular records, when I say regular, I mean like this Scandal record, is on a thinner vinyl than 180 or 220. It's the weight of the record. So those 180s and 220s, they're a thicker record. They hold their shape longer and they play better. Okay. And a lot of the times they'll tell you right on there. So this is a Doors one and it says 180 gram right on the sticker. Now, the sticker's not there. How do you know? Well, that's when you go to your websites and you do your due diligence and your research and it'll tell you. And then here is a Nirvana. Again, 180 gram. Now, as you can tell by the size, this is 12 inch, but look, these are cut at 45 RPM. That's why you can never assume 12 inch is just 33 1/3. You got to know. You got to know. You got to know. What do you call the paper cover insert? I thought that was the sleeve. That is just, I saw lightning. Yeah, that's the inner sleeve. Yeah, I guess you're right. So cover is, yeah, sorry. I had a brain fart for a second there. Oh, it's raining. I thought, pause for a second. I thought I was losing my mind. I thought I was seeing stars. And what I was seeing was the rain and the sun hitting it. So I'm like, squirrel. Yeah, so the sleeve, the inner sleeve is this part right here, which this one's falling apart on this white album. Now, if these are generic like this and they're beat up, I would have some plain ones. Well, I would have some plain ones in stock if you don't have one at all. Some, and I'll show you some examples coming up, have like lyrics printed on them and pictures and stuff. And so if it's supposed to have that and you don't, and you're just putting in a generic white one, you should mention that too. Yeah, jacket and cover. Shit, now I'm all LP sleeve. Protect your records with our record sleeves. Yep, sleeves the inner. All right, cool. And back. All right, so got to know the weight if the weight is a special weight. Now, acetate. Oh, I just want to show you. This is the Vogue picture disc that I have. This is a set of 2 that sold for $90, and I got 1, so it's worth about $45. Okay, so acetate is when they press one where they're in the record, and then they can play it right there, and they can listen to it and see how it sounds. You don't find these too often, but they're pretty special because it might never be the mix that was ever heard in the public. And acetate's a little bit different than vinyl. It looks like vinyl, but it's a little bit different material. So here is one from the Police from their Outlandish d'Amour record. And look what it sold for. $4,567. Yes, I had a brain fart. I see the chat. So when you find records with handwriting on the label, always stop and look at those because you might have $4,500 in your hand. All right. Next thing on the list is an anthology. Anthology means when you're doing like an entire songs of an artist, or in this case, what I'm about to show you, the Sun Record labels anthology, a definitive collection including 75 original recordings digitally remastered in 3 CDs. Well, this was CDs, but just to show you. So here's Elvis Presley, here's Johnny Cash, here's Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, Roy Orbison, and many more. These were like the original. So this is an anthology. It's a collection of records from Sun Records. Okay. The next one is colored vinyl. And hey, I've got a lot of fun examples here. I love colored vinyl. So do a lot of collectors. Okay, so those of you coming to Vegas this week or have been to Vegas and you've been to Frankie's and or Double Down, Moss is the owner of those places. This is his band, the Bloodcocks UK. It's an American band that has never once played in America. And a couple things going on here. 10-inch and gatefold. And white vinyl. So this is colored vinyl. And so if you have colored vinyl, you're going to want to mention it's colored and what color. So Chris RQ that just had a Chris R that just had a question. That's coming up. Don't jump ahead, Chris. Oh, wow. Angela said my first foray into eBay was a private Elvis collection of 325 records. I wish I knew you then. So much homework. Oh, I had some more examples of colored. Now, that's straight up color. That's just a white one. When you get swirls, you want to mention swirls. Isn't that badass? Because that's even more special. Now, a lot of times, like this record isn't really worth anything. Like, boo. But someone make a badass clock out of this. Or they can make them into bowls. Heat them up in the oven, make them into bowls. And this one's going to be a twofer. It's going to be colored, and it's going to be, again, a reason to be specific in your catalog number. Who loves this song? This is like the greatest Christmas song. Wham! I love Wham! And this is a special version that came out a couple years ago. And wait till you see this. You're going to be like, ooh, I want one of those. Look at that. Half green, half red. Okay. So this is a single. It's a 12-inch single. It does play at 33 1/3. And when I said the little bonus, why you need the catalog numbers, here's the exact same thing on 7-inch. So it's a 7-inch single that plays at 45. But look, a 7-inch gatefold. And this is boring black. Okay. So again, you need to know all these specific things, because when the customer is searching for the specific one they want, you don't want them showing up on yours when you have it wrong, because they will not be happy. Because you know and I know they won't read. They'll buy your thing. They're like, shit, that's not the version I wanted. A couple more colored. So this is the Safari's Wipeout. Wipeout. So this is on like pink vinyl. I know it was kind of hard to pinkish red vinyl. Okay. And last but not least, in the colored vinyl section, let me get this back in here, is the Aquasonics Buried in the Sand. That it's a little bit of a swirl. It's hard to tell, but there is a little bit of a swirl there. See it? Yes, that's why my friend dropped off his 7,000 records with me and told me to sell them. All right. Do I have any more colors to show? Nope. Okay. So back to our list. We're trucking down our list here. Next thing is deluxe. Deluxe version. Deluxe edition. And here's an example of a deluxe edition. This was the 3 LP set and colored vinyl of the soundtrack to Frozen. They only released 3,000 of them. Disc 1 was blue. Oops. And disc 2 was blue, only one-sided record, blue on one side, etched on the other. And disc 3 was silver. So it's a pretty cool deluxe edition set there. Okay, so what Chris asked about was the Flexi Disc. As Chris said, you get them at Arby's or Hardee's. You get them in a magazine. You get them in a box of cereal. I don't have any. I might somewhere, but I couldn't find them. But there's these little thin pieces of plastic that were super flexible and floppy, and you would play them on your record player. And here is why you should be looking at them. Partially for nostalgia, but here's one from the Smashing Pumpkins for a song called Daughter. Now, these are usually 45s, but this one plays at 33 1/3. Let me show you what this just sold for on eBay. Are you ready? $510.79 with 11 bids. Angela says my eyes light up when I geek on this. Oh, yeah, I love records. All right. So, Chris, that's what you're talking about. Now, not every Flexi record is worth something, but they're all worth something, but obviously they're not going to be all $500 ones, but make sure to keep your eyes peeled for them. Okay. Next is limited edition. Limited, deluxe, they're all kind of the same, but it's depending on how the record label labels them. So here is the Big Lizard Stomp. It's psychedelic music from Tokyo 66 to 69. It is limited edition. It is hand numbered and it's 180 gram colored vinyl. So look at all the things we could check off. 180 gram, numbered, limited, colored. Look at all that stuff. And then when it's hand numbered, it'll be hand numbered right down there in the corridor. Okay. All right. Next, we have Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. Now, Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab is a company that would take regular releases, redo them, make them robust sounding, like way more than the normal record company, and people collect them. And shockingly enough, the Beatles and Pink Floyd are two of the higher selling bands, but this is the third highest selling band. Whoops. Journey Escape is one of the rarest Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs of all time. Are you ready for this? Bam. $1,000. Now, I don't want y'all to run out to the thrift store and buy the regular version of Journey Escape. You need to buy the one that says original master recording at the top. And then on the back in the lower, it says Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. And since you can't see that too well, that's what the logo looks like. So there you go. So keep your eyes open. Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab on CDs are really good too. Okay, picture discs. Now, you saw one with the 78 where the picture is printed on the record. Here is a Metallica Creeping Death. So the vinyl is a giant picture. So there's the one side, And there's the other. Rest in peace, Cliff Burton. Here is a picture 45 of Britt Eklund nude. Ooh. Okay. And then you might think you might call this color, but it is a picture. It is the Fast Times at Ridgemont High soundtrack, and it's like Spicoli shoes. That's a picture disc. Now, here's one of my all-time favorites. It is Iggy Pop and the Stooges, and of course, they set this up beautifully. Look where the hole is. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? All right, now, things to be aware of. This is a Talking Heads record, and in the packaging, you might think it's a picture disc, but no, that's just the packaging. So you won't know until you open it. But it is, even though it's clear, this is still called colored vinyl. I know clear is not a color, but you're still going to call this colored vinyl. All right, and I think that was my last colored vinyl. Okay. Back to our list. Okay, so Quadraphonic is the next item on this list. And here is Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon in Quadraphonic. Now, it doesn't say it anywhere on the cover here. Does it say it on the back? Nope. Again, here it says it on the inner sleeve. There we are, sleeve. But if it was sealed, this is where looking up the Q4SHVL would tell you this is the Quadraphonic version, just sold for $112.23. Okay, next is Record Store Day. Once a year, in April, they have a thing called Record Store Day. A lot of the things I've been showing you from Record Store Day, they're special editions. They're things that have just come out. And so here's an example. There'll be a big sticker, Record Store Day. So this is Empire Records soundtrack, limited edition gold colored LP, individually numbered. So again, it's picture colored vinyl and numbered. So this one's not written, it's stamped. Okay, remasters when you take an old recording, doesn't have to be old like 1920s, but older, remaster it, clean up the pops and the clicks and re-release it. So you need to know when it's remastered. Again, that's where the websites help you. Here's the Rolling Stones remastered LP, 1971 to 2005, sold for $440. It is a box set, but they remastered their records, made them sound better, and put them in a box set. Okay, shaped. These are fun. These are shaped picture discs or colored vinyl usually. Okay, ready for some fun? How about Tina Turner from Thunderdome? We don't need another hero. See how it's shaped? Isn't that cool? Isn't that sweet? Ooh. How many of you know ABC, one of my all-time favorite 80s bands? Here's another shaped picture disc. These are records. These do play on a record player. And then my last example is shaped and not a picture, but shaped and colored. Get back in your sleeve, please. Thank you. This is Gefilte Joe and the Fish, and this is Hanukkah Rocks, and it's the Star of David on blue vinyl. See? Cool stuff like that. So those are all things you should be looking out for. Now, a lot of record stores will have a picture disc section and a colored vinyl section. And even though they usually price them accordingly, I can usually find one or two they have mispriced. How does that play? Just like any other record. Chris, you just set it on the thing, and it goes around. And you just play it because the music is here. See where the music is? The music is here. It doesn't start out here. It starts in the middle. So basically, it's a round record that happens tails. Okay. So shaped test pressing is like an acetate, but this time it's a test pressing just on regular vinyl. So here's a test pressing from Green Day's Dookie. As we got more current, they're way more specific. That Police record didn't have much written on it. It's got the date, it's got the label, the artist, and some other info. So this was for Green Day's Dookie, and this just sold for $1,000. So again, if you see a record with handwriting on the label, definitely stop and look it up. Now, the size doesn't throw the balance off. Nope, it plays just fine. Okay, next thing is white label. White labels are typically promos sent to like record stores and radio stations. And sometimes they'll be marked white label. So here's a Jimi Hendrix white label promo. Are you experienced in mono? And that sold for $500. Now the cover doesn't look any different, but you'd have to pull it out to see this says promotion, not for sale. And collectors will want that. These are the first. So here's how records work. The first ones from the plant are the promos. And so it's the first time it's ever been pressed. So collectors really want these promos. All right. Next up is first edition. That is typically the first time it came out. So the Beatles White Album, the first one would be the first edition. The other 480 will not be first editions. This is Hank Mobley. He's a jazz artist. This is a first edition on Blue Note. And it's sold for, watch your heads explode, $5,300 with 59 bids. Now, it does worry and wonder that it was located in South Korea, but hey, who am I to judge? Now, you're all not going to find a Hank Mobley first edition in Goodwill, but you never know. You just never know. All right, anniversary edition. It's when something, usually it's when something's been out of print for a long time and then they finally bring it back for a special edition. This is the soundtrack to Silent Night, Deadly Night. It was put out by Mondo, and this is the 30th anniversary edition. So it says it right there. Okay. Collector's edition. Same kind of deal. It'll tell you. So here we have 30th anniversary. So we have an anniversary edition. It says collector's edition underneath that. This record transforms when you open it inside. I just haven't opened it yet. Transforms from Autobot to Decepticon. The Autobot has etched red vinyl and the Decepticon has etched purple vinyl. So we got colored vinyl. We got laser etch. We got all kinds of stuff. You could check off 10 things on this list off of this one record. Yeah, definitely estate sales. Great question, Tina. That was a great question. My question taker missed that question, but great question. Will eBay allow it to be sold if it says not for sale? Yep, absolutely. Anything, any promo CD, any promo record. Here's who it's not for sale for: the record store or radio station that it got sent to. The rest of us can sell it. All right. Speaking of etched, oh, there was another first pressing. So this was the original 1986, 87. Live After Death by Iron Maiden, still sealed. That was the first. Now they've put it out since. And so that was another first pressing. All right. Do I not have laser etched? Oh, yeah. Where is it? Aha. It was out of order. Okay. This might be tricky to see, but this is a 12-inch single by a band I love called Clutch. There we go. Okay. Oops. Get me on the big screen. This is side A. It's regular vinyl. Now, side B, see the picture in it? That is laser etched. And that's sweet. If you look at Styx, the Paradise Theater album, the fourth side has Styx laser edged around it. Okay. So that is laser. You don't see that too often, but when you do, make sure that you make a note of it. Okay. Oh, I was about to say, is Debbie awake? She's like, oops, I'm in awe of these records. My question taker fell asleep on me. All right, next thing is imports. Imports are pretty easy because the back of the record is going to tell you where it's from. Ooh. And the one important thing is they comes from Japan. It's going to have an obi. The obi is this thing or this thing. So top or side. Obi is the little strip that collectors will ask you. If you don't mention it, and you need to say if you have it or if it doesn't have it, if you don't mention it, they're going to ask you, does it have the obi? So you've got to let them know if the obi is there. And so that shows it's an import made in Japan. And it's going to be impossible to show you, but right down here it says Japan, Tokyo. And on this one, it also says print in Japan on the smallest lettering you've ever seen in your life. So that'll tell you that. Now, although these are legal to sell-ish, these are imports that I don't think were ever legit. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they weren't. This is the Gunfighter Ballads by Marty Robbins. And typically these old imports that were kind of sketchy will be on colored vinyl. And so there'll be a lot of the writing will be, and if this is Chinese or Japanese or Korean, whatever this is. Here is Chet Atkins. And his is red vinyl. And like I said, it doesn't even tell you in English what country it is. And here's the Best of the Kingston Trio. And they made Kingston 2 words. You can tell that's usually not on the up and up. And that is black vinyl. And everything's written in some Asian language. Okay. But the imports will tell you on the bottom where they're from. And so you want to be very specific because, again, back to the Beatles' White Album, there's versions from France, there's versions from the US, from Canada, from Brazil, from Russia. A collector needs to know what version it is. All right, next was numbered. We've already seen. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Next was live recording. That's pretty self-explanatory. You know, Kiss Alive. I'm trying to think of other good live albums. Drawn a blank. But anything that's a live album, make sure that you check off live album. Whoops. Let's go back here. Numbered, we've shown numbered. I've shown you that a few times already. Promo. So here is a 12-inch of early Bon Jovi. The best kept secret in rock and roll. Shh, look how awesome my hair is. And this is a promo only single. Here they are all being sexy, giving you the shh. So here it's a gatefold promo. And right on the record, it'll say PRO. So when you see PRO, even if it doesn't say promotional under, the PRO always means promotional. And this one says promotional copy, not for sale. We can sell it. The record company can't. Now, here's why they marked them not for sale promos in terms of for the record company and, record stores and radio stations. In case if you've never worked in one, here's how it works. Say the new Justin Bieber album comes out and a record store orders 100 copies. And then only one sells. They got 99 copies left over. They don't get stuck with them. They'll send them back to the record label, and the record label will give them full credit on those 99 albums or CDs on their next order. So when the record label sends out these promos for you to play in the store or on the radio, they don't, oh, hey, Rainbow. They don't want you sending back the ones they gave you for free. So they put on there promo not for sale. That means you can't send it back. That's what it really means. So to you and I, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about a thing. All right, another promo. And again, here we are with all kinds of things happening on this. So big promotional copy not for sale. It is the Payolas doing Christmas is Coming, and it's a promo on green vinyl. Yay! So again, you're going to find a lot of these pieces of vinyl are going to have multiple checkoffs on this list. Okay, back to our list. Where we at? Rarities edition. It'll be marked. So this is a record store day from Blue Oyster Cult. It was the rarity. So these are cuts. These aren't like singles. These are like deep cuts. And so this is one I would have picked up because this one held its value. A lot of the things at Record Store Day have a high value for a moment, then they drop. This one obviously held its value. It means they didn't sell a ton of them. They didn't make a lot of them. So here we are, a year or so after when it came out. And it sold for $204 with 26 bids. People wanted this. Okay, reissue. Do I have a reissue here? No, I don't. Reissue again is like, you got your first edition, then you got your reissue. So, it's pretty self-explanatory. A couple more things I forgot to put in the mix. Here is a Public Image Limited 10-inch gatefold numbered import. And it says right there, made in England. Gatefold, 10-inch, import, numbered, EP, only 3 songs. Okay? Are you understanding? Oh my God. I'm sure you guys will be able to see this rainbow for sure. I'm sure of it. There it is. Bam. Look at that. A rainbow during a webinar. How badass is that? That's a first. Yoo-hoo. I get so excited about the little things. All right. And then, oops. Here's another cool promo. This was from Warner Brothers called Winter Warnerland. And it's a bunch of different artists on the Warner label doing Christmas tunes, but not the norm. Traveling Wilburys, Apollonia, a lot of people you ain't never heard of, Honeymoon Suite, Peter Cetera, Pee Wee Herman. But here's what's cool. Since it's Christmas and it's a double, red, and guess what the other color is going to be? Green. Okay. So these are kind of cool things. I sell one of these every Christmas. All right. Coming down to the end here. Reshoot sampler. Here's an example of a sampler. That was a sampler, what I just showed you. And this one makes it super easy. Oops. There's our list sampler. Ooh, now it is pouring and lightning. What a fun afternoon here in Vegas. Woohoo. So this one says sampler right on it. This one makes it really easy. It's a sampler of songs. Holy cow. The backyard is getting decimated right now. All right, coming into the end here. Special edition and tour edition. Oh, yeah. Special edition, you know, special collectors, they're all kind of the same. So if you find it labeled a specific way, pick that, you know. And then here's a tour edition. So this is the Creatures of the Night by Kiss. This is the Brazil tour edition. As you can see, it says it right there, Brazil Tour 1983. So there'll be some records specifically sold on the tours. Okay, so that's it for the drop downs. Now, you're going to want to put the record label in. So this one was Apple Records. The release year was 1968. The artist. Now, I don't know why they do the artist here because, of course, if you're selling a piece of music, any album, any single, anything, you're going to have the artist in the title. I think that's redundancy, but oh well. This one was made in the United States. Now, I've told you before, I'm going to tell you again, use your, add a custom detail. And so on this one, here's what I would do. Band member number 1. And I would put Paul McCartney. Because when you search on eBay, it draws from the title and the item specifics. Then I would add a custom detail number 2. Band member number 2. George Harrison. Y'all thought I was going to go for John Lennon, didn't you? All right. So that's that. Now, there are some other things I'm going to share with you that they don't have in these drop downs that you would be adding. Holy crap. It's like I'm inside a washing machine, car wash. Look at this. All righty. So glad we filled the pool up yesterday. That sucked. All right. So we're coming in the home stretch. I know this one's a little long for a webinar, but I really wanted to educate you guys really well. Oh, and here's another example of a sampler. This is a Las Vegas grind. It's a bunch of different artists. That means sampler, basically. Okay. So other things you need to know. So like this is a poster from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So you would want to put poster in your title. This is called an album flat. These were promos that were dropped off at record stores. It's the cover of the album, but it's just a piece of cardboard. So these are worth some money too if you find them. You don't typically find them, but I had a couple laying around, so I thought I'd show you. Here's another example of a poster. This is from a U2 record. And let's talk bootlegs. This is Prince Rogers Nelson nightclub recording. And it's a gatefold double LP. This is not a legit release. Some bootlegs seem to slip through the cracks on a consistent basis, and others do not. So I am not recommending or telling you to sell bootlegs or not. I'll leave that up to your discretion. Okay. But here, I'm going to give you an example. This is a Tom Petty bootleg that tends to show up on eBay all the time and doesn't seem to get pulled. And I happen to have one. So this is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Tearjerker live. But the one label, again, this is where it gets important. The one label sold for $153, and the one on the other label sold for $8.52. So, oh, I got it right here. And here's what's weird. See, that first label's got a skeleton. The second label has got a yellow label. I have a totally different one. That's what happens with bootlegs. Not everyone puts out the same. And bootlegs are always imports from other countries, so you can't go find them and sue them. So, as I see two solds, I will list this Tom Petty. It's not a legit release. Now, here's a little trick, a little secret. When an artist dies, besides their stuff skyrocketing in value, everyone involved in artist's life, from their family to their record labels, they're taking care of, oh my God, our artist is dead, our brother is dead, our husband is dead, our wife is dead. They tend to ignore eBay. There were so many Prince bootlegs being sold the month after he died. No one, because they were all fighting who owned the rights. No one's protecting it. So if you're going to sell bootlegs, and I'm not recommending you do, but if you want to, that's a good time to sell them. So Angela said, what? Oh, Apollonia. Scott, don't jump ahead to the end. How do we ship them? That'll be the last thing I'm going to show you. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few more things, just things that weren't in those drop downs. Sometimes people buy records for the artwork. They frame them and put them up. So it's not always about the music. And I'm going to see who can be the first one to answer this, because you all should know, you all have me, whose artwork is on this Vandals cover. I'm going to look at the chat. Debbie, you can answer too. Let's see who's the first to figure out whose artwork this is. Who knows the Vandals? How about that? Anyone know the Vandals? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Bam! Scott got it. Scott was the first one. Shag. Yep. Now, Shag's done a lot of art covers. Now, I'm about to blow your mind. You all knew Shag. Look at that. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Because you know his style. You ready for something to blow your mind? This is Shag, too. This is early Shag. And the reason Shag did the art for this, Shag is the guitar and vocalist in this band. But as you can see, his artwork radically changed, because this is how all his artwork looks now. Not like this. But again, this is an out-of-print record. It's got a famous artist in the band, and he did the artwork. So these are kind of things that you might sell for the artwork as opposed to the music. We got one person who knows. Woohoo! Well, I'm glad Debbie said, seeing all these LPs make me think having pizza for dinner. Get it round. How about one of the most bitchin' box sets I owned? The Fat Boys in a pizza box, and the vinyl is picture vinyl of a pepperoni pizza. Do you get much cooler than that? No, you do not. So it's the original album, out of print for 28 years, remastered, and a lot of these records will have this download card. That means not only did you buy the record, you can download the music to your like iPod, iPhone, MP3 player because you bought this. So if you have something sealed that has it in there, you want to trumpet that from your title also. It's like Debbie knew what I was going to show you guys. All right, a couple more quick things here. The next term you need to know is split, S-P-L-I-T. I'm actually shocked that eBay doesn't have that one of the options. A split means there's two different bands on a piece of vinyl. So Clutch is on one side, Lionize is on the other side. Two different bands. You'll find that often in punk bands. These aren't punk bands, but it's often in punk bands. One punk band on side A, one on side B. The term is split. Next, when it's not a normal record cover, when it's shaped or something like this, it's called a die cut, D-I-E. So I would add our bonus item specifics, I would add die cut as an for the album cover. I would add the word split, or I'd put in the title for sure. And so this is a regular record, but obviously it's not a square. So there's our regular record. And it doesn't have to be die cut where it's on angles. I think it's Upland's Houses of the Holy. The windows are cut out of the building. One of the doors has the picture of them, but it's cut out and it's got a clear yellow like cellophane. It's pretty cool. When you see something that's not just a normal square, it's got different angles or things cut out. It's called die cut. Why did I want to show you this? Oh, so this is a modern record, gatefold with a game. How cool is that? But they made it in mono. So not all modern records are stereo. So you got to keep your eyes open. You can't just rest on the fact that you're like, oh, it's modern, should be stereo. Nope. Some people want mono, you know. You're not going to find a lot in mono, but you will. Now, this cover is very dirty, like X-rated dirty, so I've covered the X-rated parts, but I wanted to show you something cool. This barely happens, but if you have it, again, something you got to trumpet. This is a Rob Zombie 10-inch single. Only one song on side A and side B, but here's what's cool. Reverse groove playback. Now, y'all know how to play a record. You set the needle on the outside and it plays in. Not this one. You set it on the inside and it plays out. Isn't that cool? That's cool. Oh, you know what? Did I miss one or is it missing from here? Oh, no. It's in the, you usually see in the title. A lot of records you'll see private pressing in the title, and those command a bigger dollar. And what's a private pressing? Well, the Beatles are on Capitol or Apple. Those are major labels. A private pressing means kind of like an at-home made thing, so to speak. So here is a sexy, sexy beast, Paula Day. Paula Day is rocking the accordion and the guitar, and there's not even a record label at all. So this would be called a private pressing. This is out of the blue. This was a bunch of my schoolmates in high school who put a band together. They're the only buddy in the whole school that put out an actual record. Now, it does say personal record, so that was the record label, but this is still what's called a private pressing on a little homemade individual record label. And the guys in the band, especially the Zooters, that's Mike and Chris, they played in some bands around Vegas. They never got huge. Had they gotten huge and I had this would be worth a shit ton of money. As it is, anyone from Chardon High School, 1988, 1989, if I put this on eBay, I bet you I would sell it for a good amount of money because people are like, oh my God, I forgot about all the, I need that. So that's private pressing. And I'm going to end with these two things, and I'll show you how to ship it, and we'll call it a night. Oh, I meant to show this earlier. So when I said 12 inches can be in record, can be a single, got to show a Spice Girl, Mel C, promo 2-inch single. So 2 songs going down in Gaga. All right. Who's ready to laugh? Ready to laugh? Which one's funnier? They're almost kind of the same. Okay, this is Patrick Jouvette. Here's the back cover. Kind of intense, huh? Oh, great. Want to see what's happening in my backyard before I show you the fun stuff? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the recliner, the lounge chair's in the pool. Yay, goody. Whee. All right, great. So anyway, back to Patrick. Here's the back. And you think he's a rock star? Nope, ice skater. What the hell? Got seriously hairy chest, bitchin' leather jacket, ice skates. And then, even funnier, is Zigbee, if only I could. How's that sexy beast? You know what's better? Well, wait for the better part. Picture vinyl. All right. I got to share one more thing with you. So you've learned about all this stuff, speeds. styles, bonus stuff. Now, I'm going to post a video on the Secret Beach. It's a 9-minute video. I want you to watch the whole thing. I assume most of you know who Jack White is. He started with Meg White in the White Stripes, and he went off on his own. Jack White is ice skating arena music. Jack White is a nerd for music and making records. And he's got Third Man Records as his label, and they do all kinds of cool shit. All kinds of cool shit. And so he put out this record here called Lazaretto. And he put out a regular version and the Ultra version. Now, let me tell you what's on the Ultra version. Okay, for starters, it's on 180-gram vinyl. There are 2 hidden tracks. Now, how do you have a hidden track on a record? What he did was he put grooves in the label, so the label on both sides has a track in it. Now, it doesn't sound the best because you're playing through the paper, but it plays. It is pretty bitchin'. So the record's 33 1/3. The one hidden track plays a 78, and the other hidden track plays a 45. The first time in history that a record had all 3 main speeds on it. Side A plays for the inside out. Side B plays from the outside in. Dual groove technology. On this one song, depending where you drop the needle, it has 2 different intros. It has an electric intro and an acoustic intro. And after the intro, they both feed into the same rest of the song. So you got to set the record needle here to hear the acoustic intro, or set it here to hear the electric intro. So it's glossy on side A, matte finish on side B. That's a little awesome. Both sides end with a locked groove. You know when you play a record, it gets to the end and it picks up the arm and it goes back? Well, it doesn't. It has a groove that repeats. The one's a crowing, and I forget what the other one is, but it'll never end until you pick it up. And the dead wax area where there's no songs on side A has a hand-etched hologram by artist Tristan Duke of Infinity Light and Science, the vinyl record. And here's what happens when I show you this video. I want you guys to watch. Jack White's going to describe all these things in detail, but I know this is a blurry photo. You see that angel there? When you play the record, that angel flaps its wings. How cool is this? How cool is this shit? I love this. They also didn't use any compression when they did the recording. Compression is what you need to do when you have CDs, when you do radio and stuff. But no compression means it's just live and raw. So it's different than the CD version. So this is cool as shit. And if you have a record player, I just picked up one of these. I didn't have one yet. I picked it up for $20 to free shipping on eBay. And I can't wait to play the hidden tracks. I can't wait to play them at different speeds. I can't wait to hear the track that doesn't end. I can't wait to see the angel. This is the stuff. Oh, well, Felix, you're late. Yeah, we're about done. This is the stuff that Jack is cool because he didn't make a lot of money on this record, because to put all this stuff in there, to make one side glossy, one side matte, it cost a lot of extra money. That's for dang sure. So there wasn't a lot of money to be made, but he did it for the love of making records and the love of vinyl and the love of us nerds who still love vinyl. So heck yeah. Okay, now, well, Blanco says, why do I own that? I'm guessing I don't know if you meant Ice Skate Boy or Sexy in a Big Chair Boy. I like weird, crappy, dorky stuff. So I gravitate towards that all day. So, AJ, how do you determine the price? eBay, Amazon, or Discogs? Yes to all 3, and here's the deal. That'll be part 2. Part 1, and I know the price should be part of part 1, but we're already an hour and 20 in. Go to eBay Sold, get a general consensus, but make sure you're comparing apples to apples. You're comparing the same catalog number. Don't just put Beatles' White Album and pick a price. You've got to be comparing catalog numbers. All right. So last thing, we will ship a record. There is a very specific way to do it. First off, you need a record label. Will I show a video of that? Yeah, Angela, I'm going to put the video. It's a 9-minute video. Jack White, one of his employees, describing all the cool features of that record, and it'll show you that angel moving. It's pretty bitchin'. So watch that video. Even Stacy was like, this is awesome. All right, you need an LP mailer. They're not cheap, but they're durable, and this is the way you should be shipping them. Get with some local beachcombers that live near you, because when you can order, I think 600 is the first time you get a good break, you can save money. None of us, not even me, need 600 at a crack, but I order some with our local friends, so we take 300 each at a time, okay? So you need a record label mailer. you need, or I recommend, the extra square. That is not normally, you got to order it additional. You need a sleeve for the LP, and you need the LP. Okay, so first thing you do is you slide the record out, set it in front. Then you put it into the plastic sleeve. I'm so not doing this wonderfully. Oh, let me angle this down a little bit. There we go. This is not a crotch shot. This is Watch Jason work shot. All right, there we go. So we are sliding the sleeve over with the LP on the outside. All right. Let me move my mess. This is gonna be the worst cleanup I've ever had from a webinar. This is worse than tiki bugs. All right, then you need 3 sections of bubble. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you put the bubbles towards the vinyl. So lay it down. And fold the vinyl over. So one side's going to have double bubble, and one side's going to have single. So get a little piece of tape, hold your bubble wrap down, and then on the other side, put your cardboard. Okay. Then you pop it in your mailer, and this mailer is corrugated, so you could do 1, 2, or 3 records. So you want to put this at the smallest because we're only doing 1. Fold in your sides. Fold in your top, and then tape. And that is how you ship a record. All right. So I see I got a couple questions. Kara Cooper, do cassettes have catalog numbers too? Every piece of music has a catalog number. Now, modern stuff, the catalog number is basically the barcode, the whole barcode. But records always go with the catalog number on the side. Angela says we have Vinyl Friday in our store every week. The vinyl buyers are getting younger. It's beautiful. Yep. If you look at the trajectory of the different forms of music, CDs is vinyl was the winner for a long time, but cassettes are coming right behind it. I know it's 2018, vinyl and cassettes. More and more bands are releasing vinyl. There is more and more vinyl aisles in record stores, new, used, all of it. And so record stores know what they're doing, but I still love going to record stores and peeling off all this cool shit that they don't realize they have mispriced. And I just love vinyl. Now, even showing you, I was going a little bit slower. It's easy to ship a record. It won't be the first time for you, like it wasn't easy to FOMO the first time. But on, anything that gets repetitive, you'll be able to do it very quick. Now, my record for the best vinyl flip was an $8 yesterday and today Second State Beatles cover. I'll explain all that in the next webinar. $8 at an estate sale, sold it for $3,300 on eBay, sealed. Now, part 2, which will be a few months down the road, will be way more about what to look for, what to skip, pricing, and stuff like that. You got the tools to start. Now you know the terms, and you know the sizes and the shapes and the speeds. Now you can get a jumping off point because you all know how to do research, and so that's cool. So get your research done, but we'll go more into it. Now, what else is coming up? I'm going to be doing a CD webinar. This will be a paid one, not for you guys, for everybody. That'll be my next webinar. Like I just did my, 30 mistakes you make. So this one's going to be the companion to your Christmas CD webinar, which was the first webinar on the Secret Beach. If you have not seen it yet, go watch it because we talked a little bit about CDs in general, but it was more about Christmas. Now I'm going to give you all kinds of other CD content. And then just for Secret Beachcombers, I'm going to give you the ultimate BOLO list to print out and take to the store. And it's not for you. You know who it's for? It's for your spouse who doesn't like thrifting and shit like this. But when you have a list by category, R&B, rock, soundtracks, alphabetically, it is easy for the non-thrifter to go to the P section in R&B, go look for Prince, and look for these 3 titles. go to the soundtrack section, look for G, look for these Godzilla titles. So I'm going to give you like the ultimate bowl list. That's just going to be for Secret Beachcombers. And then also coming up, I'm going to be doing, just for Secret Beach, a cassette webinar too, because I'm getting ready to send a shit ton of them into Amazon FBA, because I've not sold any yet, but I've been crushing it on finding ones that are worth a lot of money. I take that back. I sold that $118 Pantera one on eBay. And so these are all going to go together because like, especially when we do the thrift class on steroids this coming Friday here in Vegas, I'm teaching the media section. It's going to be mainly CDs, but they got records, they got 8-track sometimes, they always have cassettes. And so they're always all together. And so when you're in that section, by the time this is all said and done, is you're going to have 2 CD webinars, 2 record webinars, and a cassette webinar that should make you awesome in that section. Whether you're a music nerd or not, like myself, it's going to make you awesome in that section. So that's what's coming up. Oh, thanks, Angela. Is this webinar worth the money or what? Thank you. Also, I have not announced our guest webinar. I'll be putting it up tonight. Guess who's back? Popeye and his postcards. So if you have not watched the first Popeye, go watch it. He gave us basically all the different postcards to look for. And now he's going to teach us how to list them, how to take pictures, how to store them, how to ship them. Because they're way different than a lot of things we ship. Okay? But he's got this service that is amazing tracking for a flat envelope. It's pretty cool. So that's coming up on the 30th, I think. So I'll get that up tonight. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know this one went almost an hour and a half, but it's one of those things where I had to go till I was done. You know, it was. Oh, last thing I'm going to no, that was it. We're going to end it right there. So Kara said my hand cramped from all the notes I took. Yeah, I know that this one's probably one you might have to watch more than once to go over the notes, but it'll be easy to refer back, especially the list, the checkoff list on eBay, because of course I did it in order, so it's pretty easy. Now, if you're going to sell a record and you're unsure, is this a special edition? Is this the collector's edition? Is this colored vinyl hand numbered? Just make a post in the Secret Beach. I'll help you. Others will help you too. Don, Trader Don's a big record nerd also. So if you, because you know, the whole key is to get you guys out of your comfort zone and to teach you new products and get you making more money, because hell, you're in the thrift store, might as well hit every section. So if you learn something and you're still unsure, no question is dumb. Just start a fresh post, and with the pictures, of course, and say, what is this? Is this the collector's edition? Is this the version worth $3,000, or is this the version worth a nickel? Because I don't want you guys to be ever at a point where you're like, damn, I screwed up. I had the $3,000 version. I thought it was a nickel version. I sold it for a nickel. All right. I hope that makes sense. And I want to make sure you're all successful and you're all robust in your thrifting ability. And that's why we have the Secret Beach, to teach you all this new stuff. Now, those of you coming to Vegas, don't forget, Sunday night is Ass Juice Party at Double Down. Monday is the Secret Beach Bash. I will have Secret Beach pins for all of you. So that'll be the first pin you get. Then when you find me at eBay Open, I'll have thrifting board pins while supplies last. Tuesday night is the Frankie's Wear Your Best Hawaiian Shirt or Moo party. I will be wearing a moo. Wednesday is Wear Your Thrifting Board t-shirt day. We'll be taking a group photo. And then those of you coming to the class, either teaching or participating, and we sold a couple more after yesterday's Thrifty Business. We got like 2 or 3 slots left. Where our class is Friday morning. Now, if you're coming to the class and you have an older thrifting board, Secret Beach or Secret Beach Goes Cruising t-shirt, please wear that, and we'll take some fun group photos. So let me check if there's any other questions. This was the greatest. Thanks. We ain't complaining. Keep it coming. Thanks, Jason. Great stuff. Felix, I'm drawn to cassettes. Nice. Yeah, I think I've got 400 or 500 now I got to deal with that I'm going to be dealing with the first week of August. Don't be afraid of the Queen of Dumb questions. I'm so excited for Open. Where the Moo would open to. Here's the problem with the one Moo that I own that fits me. It ain't breathable. It's poly. So I'll be a little sweaty mess by the end of Frankie's Tuesday night. So although it's open and free, so to speak, it ain't breathable like cotton. So yes, we will share our open adventures on Instagram. I'll be doing some Facebook Lives, some YouTube Lives. I'll be posting pictures in the Secret Beach and the thrifting board. So definitely I'll be doing Facebook Lives from the Secret Beach Bash, because if you didn't make it this year, not to tease you that you missed the fun, but hopefully to encourage you to save up, to plan to come next year. First Secret Beach Bash was awesome. We're basically repeating the same stuff, but amping it up a little bit. And so more cocktails, better food, and nothing was wrong the first time. So make sure to try and come next year. All right, that's it. 90 minutes on the dot. I am out of here. Aloha. Oh, by the way, Sunday, Mom and I will be doing a live show from here together. I'll get that posted tonight too. And we're going to have Craig and Rick from Canada, who run the craft group, here in the audience. Big Dog and Good Dog. Good Dog and Bad Dog. So they'll be my live audience. So that's when the shenanigans will start. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful Friday night. I got to go fish some furniture out of the pool. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.